Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling smaller than when it began? Perhaps you found yourself explaining too much, apologizing unnecessarily, or agreeing to something you didn't truly want. These moments, subtle as they are, can quietly chip away at how others perceive us, and more importantly, how we see ourselves. They plant seeds of doubt, leaving us questioning whether we project confidence or reveal insecurity. Insecurity often hides in plain sight. It's not always about shaky voices or nervous gestures. It's the little habits we barely notice, but that silently communicate a fear of not being enough. This doesn't mean there's something wrong with us. Falling into these patterns is human, but recognizing them and stepping out of them is key to building a stronger sense of self. This is where the teachings of Stoicism offer invaluable insights. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius remind us that true strength doesn't come from seeking approval, but from aligning our actions with our values. Confidence grows when we focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and character, instead of worrying about what others might think. Let's explore some common behaviors that can unintentionally undermine our confidence, and how to replace them with quiet, steady self-assurance. This isn't about judgment, but about growth and self-awareness. Certainly. Here's a refined version of the content, rewritten without headings for a smoother flow. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling smaller than when it started? It might have been a moment where you felt compelled to explain yourself, apologize excessively, or agree to something you didn't even want. These subtle habits can quietly chip away at how others see us, and more importantly, how we see ourselves. You might begin to question if you're coming across as confident, or if others sense the doubts you're trying to suppress. Insecurity isn't always obvious. It's not necessarily the shaky voice or nervous gestures we associate with it. Often, it hides in the little things we do, behaviors we barely notice, but that silently broadcast a fear of not being enough. The truth is, we all fall into these traps sometimes. It doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. The key is recognizing these patterns and stepping away from them before they define us. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism can offer guidance. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius remind us that true strength isn't about proving something to others. It's about being the best version of yourself. When you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and values, you free yourself from the weight of others' opinions. Take the common habit of seeking validation. It might seem harmless, even normal, to look for approval, but over time, it can erode your sense of self. Whether it's refreshing your phone for notifications or over-explaining a decision to ensure others approve, these small moments accumulate and weaken your confidence. Marcus Aurelius advised focusing on what lies within our control, emphasizing that external opinions are fleeting and unreliable. Real confidence comes when you stop chasing applause and start building inner approval. Over-explaining is another behavior that can betray insecurity. While it may feel polite or necessary to justify your choices, it often reveals uncertainty. Instead of trusting your decisions, you might find yourself offering detailed explanations in an attempt to avoid judgment. Stoicism teaches the value of simplicity and clarity in communication. A straightforward response not only saves energy, but also projects confidence. Trust that your actions and words are enough without constant justification. Avoiding eye contact is yet another subtle signal of insecurity. It can suggest discomfort, fear, or even dishonesty. However, making eye contact, even briefly, fosters connection and presence. It's a simple yet profound act that conveys confidence and respect for yourself and others. The Stoics emphasized living in the present and embracing moments fully. Something as small as holding someone's gaze can reflect that mindset. Similarly, over-apologizing diminishes your confidence and creates an unnecessary burden of guilt. Apologies should be meaningful and reserved for genuine mistakes, not scattered in every interaction. By replacing unnecessary apologies with gratitude or acknowledgement, you shift your language to reflect self-respect and accountability. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what truly matters, and letting go of unwarranted guilt is a step toward that clarity. Trying too hard to be liked often leads to losing your sense of authenticity. In an effort to meet others' expectations, you might find yourself agreeing to things you don't want or pretending to be someone you're not. True respect and connection come from living in alignment with your values. By setting boundaries and embracing your authentic self, you strengthen your self-worth and build relationships that are genuine and fulfilling. Each of these habits, seeking validation, over-explaining, avoiding eye contact, over-apologizing, and striving to be liked, stems from a fear of rejection or a lack of self-confidence. However, none of these external factors truly define your worth. Real confidence is grounded in your values and your actions, not in the opinions of others. As the Stoics taught, focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. By recognizing and replacing these behaviors with self-assured practices, you can live a life rooted in authenticity and respect. Remember, no one else has control over how you perceive yourself or how you choose to show up in the world. Trust your decisions, maintain presence, hold your boundaries, and embrace your authenticity. When you live true to yourself, confidence becomes second nature, and your life will feel more meaningful and fulfilling. Reflect on these perspectives and start applying them in your daily interactions. You've got this. Stay authentic, stay confident, and continue striving for greatness.